All right, ladies and gentlemen, Fabs in the house, and welcome back to the channel. Look at that custom division neon 3D OG. Look at this blue backspacer S90V steel. Let's get this done, guys. We're gonna need a couple tools. I like to use this Shirogorov Sienkiewicz designed tool. I like to have two with the 2 bits that I'm gonna need. So one for the pivot and one for the body. So let's start with the pivot. So just squeeze the blade like this when you do this, right? And then if you have this, you can put it like in a 90-degree position, so you have a lot of torque like doing this, much more than that. So I like to start, let's say, right over here, and just keep it pinched like strongly. In this case, we can just do like that. All right. And if you see that it's really too strong, you might need some heat to open it up. So this case, just go slow, very, very slow. Is it coming? Yes, yes. This is really, I'm expecting some dry Loctite underneath here, because this feels really hard. And if you don't have a tool and the pivot is Loctited like this, oh boy, you're gonna mar the pivot. Likely mar the pivot. There we go. Can I do with hands? So this was tight. And now we're gonna do the handle. Keep it pinched. Let's see this guy. No, nothing like the pivot. So these are really tiny screws, guys. So I really advise you to go very, very slow. The screwdriver can slip, like you just saw, it just can slip because these are tiny. Keep this thing pinched, right? Just lay it down. And you can just swap it like side, like so. And just gentle wiggle, just gentle. There you go. I should have probably opened the blade, but it was fine. So we got everything apart. Pivot is gonna get some cleanup. Got the spacer. And you're gonna need a couple of tweezers right here. But first, actually, let's do a little bit of cleaning with some rubbing alcohol, like so. I'm just gonna start with the blade because it's a pretty cool one. Let's see how it looks like clean. So this is interesting because it's a special one. Look at the micro flats. It's almost like full flat grind. We could say full flat, yeah. And it's pretty unique. I have other neon custom division, and this is the only one like this. I believe this is a one-off kind of deal with the jimping, pretty unusual for that. I'm just gonna clean the backspacer now. Blue anodized beauty. Look at this. Look at the milling going on into this bad boy. Love it. I am a sucker for the backspacer from Shiro. I think they are the best in the business. Really hard to beat these guys. I'm just gonna do something like that. I don't know how to call this, and just go kind of like this inside and try to bring out some of that scum. Here you go, just cleaning the screw like so. And now let's go ahead and remove the bearings here. So I'm gonna remove one roller first, so I can just catch this thing like so. So as you can see, in this custom division neon, you do not have, so this, by the way, number 316 pre-4-digit naming. So it means it's an old one. But it means there's 30 made, I'm assuming. I believe, I'm not sure if this is like a one-off because of the anodization and the finish. That I don't know. But what I know is that this thing is beautiful. Okay, so check out the scale, how it looks. It's something truly magnificent. I really like this guy. You're gonna clean this one now. A tiny bit more alcohol, because it's not gonna hurt. Just clean everything around the pivot, inside this milling lightning pockets. There you go. So you can see also there's like 53. Interesting. Not sure what's the reasoning for that, but I'm sure there's a reasoning. I should ask. Beautiful, guys. So here we are now. We're gonna do this. So these guys actually, they seem a little bit bigger than the other neons that I disassembled. So everyone is different. Look at this technique, pushing two at a time out. How about that? And this is out. Awesome. All right. Look at the gunk accumulated here. Let's do a little bit of a bath in this alcohol right there. So let's just soak everything in here. Let's just do this. Just wash them basically. So, and then you see I'm just moving them where there's the puddle, and I don't know, this is just my technique that I come up with, but they look pretty clean. You see I left all the grease, all the gunk there. So here I'm just gonna do the same thing, just soaking these guys, right? And just now drying them out. Okay. So because they were a lot dirty, I'm just gonna soak them a little bit more. There you go. Yeah, they needed definitely. Actually, I still see some of that. So for this, just grab the alcohol there and just get with a kind of like a toothbrush. See? That's pretty. There you go. So now we have some clean cages, right? Oh yeah, baby. Now I'm just gonna dry this area. Okay. These guys, just gonna move them to the side over here. There we go. So now I'm just gonna grab the lock side with the pivot, which is gonna go in like so. One cage, which is in. Actually, guys, no, because the neons have this little area. If you put already the pivot in, you're gonna lose some real estate to do this operation. So that's why it's gonna work better like that. You have a little bit more room. So one by one. Don't do that, you see? Don't do that, don't. Do you see? Do this. And slowly you can just move and have it like that. So you can do, I don't know, maybe 3 at a time. You see, 1, 2, here you go, and maybe 3. So for the 4th one, you gotta have to change the orientation. At least this is what I try to, when I try to optimize. Sometimes this happens, and sometimes I always wonder how are at the factory doing this. I would love some pointers, some, you know, some tips, some tricks. I'm sure they have some procedures to speed things up. So here I'm gonna use 10 weight nano oil because of the weight of the blade is 1, 2, 3, and a little on the detent. Blade is not too heavy, so maybe this might help a little bit the action. So pivot is in. Now blade, there you go, goes there. We can set spacer in place. So at this point you have 2 options. You can do this because it just fits, but then it can risk to fall inside the pivot. So what I like to do is just, I go with the surface tension. And so sometimes I use also to do this, but you see what happens? It's not gonna work. So that's why that would be ideal, right? It's not gonna work. That's why you gotta have 2, 1, and just push it down. I mean, I would really love to have some insight from the factory to gather some knowledge. How are they doing? Probably like that, because I mean, there is a 50 for each custom division that they are making, but there's several for the production, right? Not 50, much more. But those production knives from Shirogorov, they don't have these cylinders. They have the ball bearings, the multi-row or single-row ball bearings, MRBS. And those are a breeze. Walk in the park. I mean, nothing like these. These are, they need like a precise orientation. And so if you lose these guys, I really don't know where to obtain them except for Shiro. And right now, it might take a bit to get stuff from Russia. And yeah, it's so be careful. Just do it on a mat. Do it when you have time, when you have no rush. And because this is like a Zen process, you can't rush this thing. It's something, you gotta take your time and just enjoy. Otherwise, why are you gonna do it? 3 drops, because I like 3. So now, you see, I can just start like moving the bearing around just gently without scratching anything. So to spread, the nano oil. So the surface tension should hold this in place while I sandwich the scale. And look at that. Now we got the pivot in. I'm just gonna do, of course it's spinning, not an issue. Okay, so let's do this first. So this is in place, all right. So let me do also handle the screw. When it's doing like that, probably the spacer needs some adjustment, like so, okay. Here you go. So now very slowly, right? Just screw in that body screw. Just take your time. Do not rush, because this is the one that can slip because of the super tiny screw. Okay, so now we are going to tighten this guy up. There we go. Okay. So here, actually, yeah, I can still feel. Oh yeah, bunch of blade play. So always make sure you have the driver, oh yeah, cranked way too much. So I'm just gonna do a little bit less, like so. And also I'd like to have the pivot actually correctly oriented. So let's see, should be maybe more. I think that's probably it. Still a little bit of play. No. Okay, let's see if I managed to get the pivot. There you go. So, yeah. Centering. Yeah. Action. Yeah. Definitely, yes. This is a pretty cool one, guys. I thought this was my least favorite neon. And I think I love this one. So there you have it. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.